chiudrai farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo.
There are 5 jetties here in Penang. So the Chew Jetty, the Yeoh Jetty, the Lim Jetty, the Lee Jetty, and I forgot what's the last one. Yeah. So there are 5 jetty to choose from. So obviously my first choice is the Chew Jetty for a very obvious reason. Because I am Chew. So I have to support my own clan first. Wrong. There are altogether 7 Chinese clans jetty and not 5 that I have mentioned earlier. The clan jetties are a cluster of residential neighborhood within the city of Georgetown in the Malaysian state of Penang. Situated within the city central business district, it is now comprises 7 wooden villages lining the coastal road of Yeoh. Let's go. Each village is owned by residents of a specific Chinese clan: Ong, Lim, Chew, Tan, Lee, Yeoh, and mixed clan. By far, the Chew Jetty has to be the most tourist-friendly jetty amongst the jetty. And it has many souvenir stores. There's even some cafes and some snacks cafeteria, and there are many spots to take pictures. But as I'm getting deeper into this housing neighborhood, I begin to really feel for the dwellers living in this area, whose life is constantly being pried into by tourists coming by the waves. I just feel that this commercialization and crowd it brings really spoil the authenticity of this place. But let's be realistic, these locals also need to earn their livelihood. I like it when I'm almost reached the end of Chew Jetty. That's the place that I can get to look at the expanse of the sea facing Peninsular Malaysia mainland. I especially like the vibes here. So Penang is an island. So this is the mainland Malaysia, which is Butterworth, which is also part of the entire Penang. So Penang is an island and a state. That's pretty much all for Chew Jetty. After Chew Jetty, I'm proceeding on to the other jetty, the Tan Jetty, which is just probably next to each other. Reach the entrance to the Tan Jetty. So behind me, that's the way in to the Tan Jetty. Come, follow me. Comparatively, this is quieter. I feel like walking into a real kampong this time around. Tan Jetty somewhat sends a message to me that all clans jetty in Penang used to look like that before mass commercialization sets in. One memorable sight is when I crossed this makeshift door, supposedly trying to lock people out of the jetty when the surrounding is dark. Obviously, for safety reason, as you can see that the bridge is not too well prepared and there are holes on the plank. Wow, this is the most Instagrammable jetty. This place is so beyond words for me. I am very touched upon seeing what's going on around me. Instantaneously, I forgot that behind me is the bustling Georgetown city. I am completely wrapped by the sense of serenity, very out of this world. I thought if I'm alone, that feeling will even be more intense. So beautiful. Oh my god, I can't believe it. This place transported me to the time that I was at Butterworth Jetty. Totally immersed in a very surreal feeling, surrounded by water 360 degrees back then. It's almost the same feeling that I have in Butterworth. Well, back to the Jetty. The wooden plank over here is probably the longest among the 7 jetties found here. This is beyond my expectation. Moving on to the next jetty is the Lee Jetty. Lee Jetty is shorter than the Chew Jetty. It is quite a clean water village with mainly residents and almost no shops. So the next jetty that I'm going to cover is the Lee Jetty. However, it is not that old. It is one of the newest jetty built in the 1960s, as the original Lee Jetty was relocated where the ferry terminal was built. Looking for a new place, they ended up here in this current location. This has a very consistent decoration. Looks like a Chinese New Year decoration theme. 一帆风顺，二人同心，万事皆成，岁岁平安。Yep, so I finished reading all the good greetings. Yeah, among the 7 jetty, it is probably one of the most lit and decorated jetty here. You can see Chinese arches and red lanterns placed along the length of the jetty. I can only imagine what it will look like at night when all the decorations lights are fully lit. Next jetty or the new jetty. This is the next jetty that I'm going to. You can say it is an accidental find. As I was walking through the Yeoh Jetty, I find this another new jetty. So what's the surname? There's nothing. So it's a mix. It's a mixed jetty. 蛇 姓氏. It means anything. Since we are here, let's go in and have a look. As the name of the new jetty suggests, it is the most recently built jetty, established around in the 1960s, earning the nickname of the New Jetty. Now, that's my throne. It is also one of the smallest jetty with 22 houses only. There is no souvenir shops here, and almost all the houses are residential. The next jetty that I'm going to, or the 5th one, is the Yeoh Jetty. The Yeoh Jetty is a little bit obscure. Yeah, I almost missed it. I went to the other one. So this is the signage, yeah, which is hanged by some dirty laundry. Okay, so let's go in. It retains much of the original charm with few modern rebuilds. However, due to its northernmost location and the furthest away from the most commercialized Chew Jetty, most tourists will not make it to this place. Yeoh Jetty thus probably is one of the least visited jetty here. Time to leave this jetty. However, I still have 2 more jetty to go, so I have to make a dash now. From the southern parts of the Clan Jetty, I retrace the walk back up north, passing by the New Jetty, the Lee Jetty, the Time Jetty, and the Chew Jetty. Right, I'm out. This is the last jetty for the day, the Lim Jetty. So there's a big Lim sign here. Lim. My destination, the Lim Jetty, is less than 100 meters from the Chew Jetty, which I first came from. I am now at the end of the Lim Jetty. Just like the Yeoh Jetty, it is a wonderful place to catch the rest of the Clan Jetty from up north. Other than that, I see that I am also very close to the ferry terminal, which is just next to the Lim Jetty. I now find myself at the old ferry terminal. This jetty is not on my intended plan. I can see the Lim Jetty and the jetties beyond. More importantly, I come to realize that in between the old ferry terminal and the Lim Jetty lies the Ong Jetty. I would say the Ong Jetty is the most elusive jetty that most people do not even know. In fact, I only come to know about it when I'm doing this video after months leaving Penang. This tiny strip of land called the Ong Jetty, must be the most secretive jetty among all the clan jetty still standing in Penang.